Everybody, how's it going? My name is Derek Scott, and I am a physical education teacher at Ware Elementary School at Fort Riley, Kansas. Today, I am going to be sharing a little bit about how we can use Twitter as professional development. I'm going to tell you why it is such a great tool that is tailor-made for physical educators and our unique needs. I'm going to share some tips for beginners, some tips for some more experienced users, a little bit for everybody. Quick before we dive in, I want to give a quick shout out to a guy named Tanner Rose. I have borrowed portions of this session from a presentation of his, so shout out to him. And with that being said, let's go ahead and let's dive right in. All right, so let's start with this. We as physical educators, we've all kind of had the professional development blues a little bit. You know, we want to. We've all sat through PD sessions where we feel like it's not geared towards us, maybe it's not relevant to our content area, and so what do we want? We want things that are relevant to us, right? We want things where we can be interactive with what we're learning. You know, we want things that we can apply right away. So with that in mind, I'm going to tell you how Twitter offers all of those things, checks all of those boxes. So my journey on Twitter started about 5 years ago when we had a district professional development in our in Gary County schools about using Twitter for this very purpose, and it was for all for all educators in our district. And we had a very renowned clinician who goes by the name of George Kuros. And he is an educational consultant out of Canada. And if you ever get a chance to hopefully follow him after you create your Twitter, you know, if you just Google him, oh my goodness, he's phenomenal. But that's kind of when my journey started, and since then I have connected to so many different ideas and different strategies, different I don't know, just so many different takes on what we do as physical educators every day. All right, now that I've got you convinced that this is something you should totally try, there are 3 steps that you're going to need to follow to get involved. Create your account, learn how to tweet, and get connected. Now, when you go back later, if you would like, there are some fantastic videos that are embedded into this presentation. If you click on these videos to the right of the screen, on the next couple slides, there are some fantastic videos by a guy named Bob Knight, who you should totally follow, because he's a really good person, putting out a lot of great info on the Twitter stream there. So check him out if you were wanting a little bit more guidance. Then you should totally use his videos to help you out. Step 2: once you've gotten your account, you got the app, you've got it downloaded, set up. We've got to learn what the lingo means, right? What is a hashtag? What is a Twitter handle? Following, retweeting, trending. What all these things mean? Well, these are things that you can learn more about in Bob's video here. And we'll also dive into that here again real shortly. Step number 3, getting connected to the Twitter community. This is the part where you are going to decide who you're going to follow and which people are going to be the ones who are going to be kind of influencing you. I have on this slide, if you when you go back later, if you click on this slide, it'll show you a big list of some of the people who are the biggest contributors to the Twitter health and phys ed community. As usual, one more video there from Bob Knipe that you can check out if you want to dig a little deeper when you get your hands on this presentation later on. All right, so let's do a little tweet talking here. Some of the things that, some of the little symbols that you'll see, this @ sign is, whenever you see this in a tweet, that is a different person's Twitter handle. And this is something that's unique. Everybody has created their own. So each person tagged here in the video has their own @Twitter handle up at the top here. Now, when you see the hashtag, that's something that has been created by somebody at some point that they use to tag their tweets, and it's basically something that people can use for a search purpose. So when we create when you tweet something out, or somebody else tweets something out that they want to share with the phys ed community, then they'll say they'll put that hashtag phys ed in there, and then when you go and search on from your home page or from just your Twitter feed there, you click into the search and you click hashtag phys ed, then it's going to bring up any tweet that someone has put out that has that same hashtag phys ed in their tweet. So here are just a few examples of some different hashtags that people use in the health and phys ed community. And some states will have their own hashtag that they'll use to have people tweet, and it kind of unifies all those people's tweets so that other users in that area, in that region, or in that organization can find each other's tweets there. So you look here, I've got hashtag phys ed was the search, and then if you did a search of hashtag phys ed, then you would immediately pull up any of those people who have tweeted something that says hashtag phys ed in it. All right, so now we're kind of getting a little bit closer to being ready to use this thing. Hanging in there with me pretty well, hopefully right now. Now it's time for us to, when we are connecting to people, all right, we are going to start following people. Now I've got a list here of people that I'll share with you here in a moment. But if you look here on people that you are following, this blue button right here will show you if you are following somebody, and then you can also see if somebody is following you. It's got a short little description that they have created for themselves, as well as any pictures or graphics that they've linked to their account. All right, now these next couple slides will be kind of a good start for you to start getting connected to this community. I would say all these people bring something a little bit different to the table, whether it's content, whether it's activities, whether it's big picture ideas, where it's practical, useful tips. But I would have to say just a couple of shout outs here. If there's one person only who I would follow, then it would absolutely be this guy Joey Fight. He is phenomenal, and I don't know. The guy just kind of blows me away anytime that I'm able to read anything. He's also got a blog. He's got a website that probably a lot of people have heard of as well. But if you haven't, then he's somebody you definitely want to check out. And then just a couple more people. Some of these are repeats from that last slide. I've kind of pulled things together here from over the years, but these are all people who are constantly engaged on Twitter, putting out their content, creating things, and then just out of a sense of wanting to make the health and phys ed just quality health and phys ed for students. That's kind of their purpose. There's no profit from it. It's just in the name of better teaching practice. All right, so we've learned a little bit about this whole Twitter business. Right now, it's time to learn how to compose your tweet. So if you go up on and click the tweet button there, if you're on a computer, then it'll bring this window up. You type in your tweet, what you want to say, and then make sure if you want it to be something that people can that's kind of grouped together with a certain hashtag, such as hashtag PhysEd, then make sure that you include that. Does not matter if it is capitalized or not, any of the letters, it'll register either way, but you do need to make sure and include the hashtag. Now if you click that circled icon, that'll allow you to add a picture as well to your tweet. And then we also have the option to add a GIF, however you pronounce that. And that's kind of a fun thing to include GIFs in your tweets there. And then the next that next icon that's circled is allows you to include a survey or a poll that you want to put out to the community. All right, now let's talk just real briefly about Twitter chats. Now this kind of allows you to be a part of an ongoing conversation via Twitter, right? So it'll be put out there with a scheduled time and with a certain hashtag. All right, probably the most popular one is known as SB Chat. Right, it stands for Elementary School PE Chat. Right, and this always includes someone who is a moderator, somebody who is posting questions, somebody who is clarifying things, and kind of keeping things moving along there. So that is something that once you feel more comfortable with engaging, and a lot of times as a beginner, you're just going to kind of follow along and look through other people's tweets, see what people post, see what kind of things they've created that you can add to your instruction. But then once you get comfortable, then the next step is to start joining these conversations. So this super cool guy named Spencer Barfus, his hashtag or his Twitter handle is @PhysEd. He created a Google slide that has links that have basically, basically to put it plain and simple, he has created a way for you to click on any of a series of links that I'll show you here in just a moment, and then it will pull up anything that someone has tweeted about any sort of subject that you might be interested in, such as if you want to see some videos of basketball, or some pictures of throwing and catching, or any links that somebody's put up to any dancing resource, then you can do that using the PhysEd search Twitter tool that I'm about to show you now. Alright, so let me show you this fantastic Twitter search tool real quickly. This is what it looks like. It's just a couple pages here, but as you can see, there are instant activities, there's parachute, golf, jump rope. I don't have to read all those to you, but everything here that you see is linked to a Twitter search filter. So if I go and I click on throwing and catching videos, then it is instantly going to pull up Twitter, and then it is going to filter, and it's going to show any of these, any throwing activity, throwing and catching. If somebody's put something in the tweet text there, then it's going to show that tweet, or any of those tweets that have a video with it. All right, so let me show you another example. Let's say if you are looking for, let's say if you're looking for some type of cooperative games. And I always like videos because it's the quickest way to get the idea with it, right? So this pulls up something, a cooperative challenge here that Mike Graham has done. All right. And we can scroll down, and it's all going to be things that are specifically cooperative, teamwork, anything that has been put into that filter in the search button, or in that search tab. So again, this is something that you do not even have to have a Twitter Twitter account in order to be able to leverage this. So this is kind of a good way for a lot of people to be introduced to Twitter without the without the daunting, not feeling comfortable with tweeting, and not feeling like they have to sift through a whole bunch of other people's posts and stuff that really maybe won't matter to you. All right, now I've got a few more organizational and time-saving Twitter tricks I'd like to share before we wrap this up. So now I'm going to tell you about something called TweetDeck and Google Keep. Now TweetDeck is a web-based platform that allows you to use Twitter in a much more much more sped up kind of a way. It allows you to take in a lot more different customized feeds, where you can set up different hashtags to follow, just kind of different columns. of things for you to keep track of, notifications in columns. You can set up, I don't know, one for your messages. You can set up for multiple accounts that you might have. So if you have one for your professional account and then one for a personal, so it allows you to do that all in one screen. And then there are a couple other cool functions that I'll show you here as well. All right, so let's take a little bit closer look at TweetDeck here. All right, so this is my my TweetDeck here. I have, let's see, about 8 or 9, 10 different columns set up here. All right, and so my first one is just my my home feed. All right, so this would be just anybody who I follow on Twitter. It would just, everything would just kind of unfiltered would show up here. All right, so my next column, I've got a hashtag PhysEd, I've got a PE chat, I've got a Clear the Air, which is a social justice chat there. All right, SB chat, and then I've got a couple other things here just so I can kind of keep track of my Twitter activity in a couple different ways. All right, you can send your messages there, and then finally here on my last column, I've got my my personal Twitter account that I use just to oops, a daisy. I use just following. Sorry about that. So anyways, that one is just to kind of follow news outlets and keep track of different teams, that sort of thing. So it allows you to keep your eye on a lot more things within your Twitter account. So if you are wanting to add a column, then what you do is you come over, you select the type of column that you want. I am going to set up another hashtag here, right? So any tweets that go out that have the hashtag HPE at home, that's a very popular hashtag to follow right now, given the fact that that we are all teaching from a distance, teaching continuous learning style right now. I can drag this over and I can place it anywhere that I want. And so if I want to just leave it right there, then that will track all those tweets there. All right, now finally, one other function that I want to show you is when you are tweeting. All right, you can see this allows me to tweet from either one of my accounts, and then after I'm done tweeting a tweet, sending out a message with my hashtag, whatever it might be. All right, you type something up, and anything that's used a lot is going to pop up there. But yeah, we'll just say that. All right, and then the really cool thing with TweetDeck is it allows you to set up a time when you will send out your tweet. So sometimes, people tend to kind of look more at their Twitter feed certain times of day, evenings, a certain time in the morning. So if that's when you want to send your tweet out, then you just schedule it for whatever time or date that you would like. So that's a little bit about TweetDeck, one of my favorite tools. If you are really somebody who is on Twitter a lot and you want to be able to kind of go a little bit deeper, then that's a good, it's a very, very useful tool for you. All right, now the last thing that I'd like to share with everybody is probably the tool that I use the most alongside Twitter, and that's called Google Keep. So Google Keep is a Google Chrome extension, and there's also an app along with it that that you can use. A lot of people have figured out that you can use this to organize all the great stuff that you pull off of Twitter. And here's just a quick look at my own Google Keep. What you can do is it's basically just kind of a note-taking app here. You can make checklists, you can make drawings, you can put pictures in there, you can change up how you view it. But then the way that I use it is you can create labels for all of your notes, so that you might end up with 1,000 different notes, but you can go and you can click on certain notes that you've tagged with certain labels. And you'll notice here that some of my notes that I've created from those tweets also have multiple labels on them. So most of them here lately have been HPE at home, but just a few examples here. So you see this one has a planning, beginning of the year, and social emotional tag to it. So just that's kind of just a brief little intro. And then our next video is going to be from a guy that a lot of you might know named Kevin Tiller. And he's going to show a quick little video about how he uses Google Keep from an iPad. If you would like a copy of this full presentation so you can access all of the links and kind of go back at your own pace, then please contact me at my email or on Twitter. Thanks.